At exactly 6:17 a.m., a man woke up in his bed, stretched his arms, and stared at the ceiling. The house was silent. No footsteps, no voices, no sound from the children's rooms. That silence wasn't peace. It was death. Because just a few hours earlier, this man had murdered his entire family, and then returned to bed and slept beside their bodies. This is not a story about rage in the heat of the moment. This is a story about planning, about emotional collapse, and about how someone can destroy everything they once loved and feel nothing at all. From the outside, the family looked ordinary. A quiet suburban home, a married couple, 2 children, weekend routines that mirrored thousands of others across the country. Neighbors described them as polite but reserved. No loud arguments, no police calls, no visible signs of trouble. Family photos showed smiles, birthday candles, holiday dinners, school events. But what those photos couldn't capture was what was happening behind closed doors. Pressure was building, and no one noticed how close this family was to the edge. The father was seen as dependable. He worked long hours, rarely complained, carried the weight of responsibility quietly. But inside, things were unraveling. Financial strain had begun to choke him slowly. Bills piled up, debt mounted. The future no longer felt secure. Instead of asking for help, he withdrew. Friends later said his personality changed. He became distant, emotionless, almost hollow. What no one realized was that he had already begun imagining an escape. Not a solution, an ending. The house became quieter over time. Dinner conversations shortened. Laughter disappeared. Doors stayed closed. The children noticed something was wrong but didn't understand it. The wife sensed the emotional distance but assumed it was stress, temporary, fixable. She had no idea that her husband had stopped seeing the family as people. In his mind, they had become obstacles. And once someone becomes an obstacle, they stop being human. Police later discovered that the decision to kill his family was not impulsive. It was made days before the crime. He researched, he planned, he waited. There was no argument that night, no final confrontation. The house was calm, too calm. That was the most disturbing part. Late at night, when the house was asleep, he got out of bed. The children were in their rooms, unaware, defenseless. One by one, he entered. There was no hesitation, no mercy. Afterward, he moved to the bedroom. The woman he had promised to protect never woke up. When it was over, he cleaned himself, checked the house, locked the doors. Then he returned to bed and fell asleep, beside the bodies of the people he had just erased from existence. When the sun rose, he woke like it was any other day. He showered, dressed, looked in the mirror. There was no breakdown, no panic, only emptiness. Police were alerted later that morning when co-workers noticed something strange. He hadn't shown up. His phone was off. When officers arrived, they expected an emergency. What they found was a crime scene that would haunt them forever. When confronted, he didn't resist. He didn't cry. He didn't deny anything. During questioning, his voice was flat, detached. At one point, he said something that froze the room. I thought it was the only way to make it stop. To him, murder wasn't violence. It was escape. Experts later explained that family annihilators often believe they are solving a problem. They don't see themselves as monsters. They see themselves as men who have failed and believe death is preferable to exposure. Control becomes more important than love. And once that switch flips, nothing feels real anymore. This case forces an uncomfortable truth. The most dangerous people don't always look dangerous. Sometimes they look like fathers, husbands, neighbors. And the scariest violence isn't loud. It's quiet, calculated, and hidden behind a normal smile. Because sometimes, the deadliest thing in a house is silence.